Two guys talking about the good old days. Half of it's truth, the rest's a haze. If it bombed back then, it kills right now. Yeah, memories funny like that somehow. Names get dropped, stories grow tall. Every set was a murder, no bombs at all. The stand-up memories, take it as you please. Where the past gets better with every tell and tease. Welcome to Stand-Up Memories.
Another episode of Stand Up Memories.
I like that song. I hated the one before this, and I just love that song.
That's our theme song. And it's written by a great, great composer named A.I. I forget his last name.
Don't ever say that.
All right. We are here. I'm Peter Bales. This is Jackie the Joke Man Martling. And I'm thinking of a joke because right before we came on, our next guest told me that they got his name wrong on Letterman. And I was about to introduce him that wrong way, but I'm not going to be that cruel. I'm going to give him the correct introduction. Rob Bartlett is here with us at Stand Up Memories. And boy,
you said we were having Frankie Pace.
Donde está la casa de Pepe?
We have Rob Bartlett, a comedian that we go way back with. He's had a long career, done so much cool stuff. You know how when you get into a TV show and you're totally in the plot and in the moment and engrossed in the TV show, and then Rob Bartlett comes on and breaks the whole moment.
Takes it right out.
I know that guy.
Right.
You know,
You're going, you completely missed the rest of the show because you're in a jealous rage. You know,
I mean, Law and Order is that I was totally in the show, and then there's Rob. It's Rob. You know, I don't care if the guy's guilty or innocent. That's Rob.
I'm always defending the bad guys. I'm the sleazy defense attorney on SVU. I got to defend the Fonz in one episode, and he pushed his wife down a flight of stairs. She was in a wheelchair. I was his lawyer.
So that explains
she
why
was in the wheelchair before.
No. She was in the wheelchair afterward. But then
I thought she was in a wheelchair.
No, that would have been too Richard Widmore.
And that's why Rob takes his roles very seriously, and he got a license plate after that role that said "Walkum."
That's right.
That's
right.
Now let's tell our audience who this is, for God's sake. This is an absolutely incredible stand-up comedian with an eclectic style. He does everything in his act.
Eclectic.
I love that. That's a compliment. I mean, wide range.
It's kind of one of those broad.
Yeah,
can't sum you up. A wonderful career in radio and acting, and now he is directing. Really cool. This is just cool directing. Now you're in control.
No. I'm not directing this time. I'm acting in this so that I can direct next season.
Oh, okay. So
I'm kind of warming my way in.
Okay, now let's tell everybody what this play is. You're going to be acting in it, and then a future director.
Yes.
Where you'll be a tyrant.
That's right, of course.
And where is this happening?
It's at the Studio Theater in Lindenhurst.
I love that little joint. Love
it's great. They were talking about you last time. I had a meeting with them. They were talking about you and doing the show there. It's a great little community theater that's got an amazing history. It's like 63 years old. I remember going to see one of my high school acting teachers in Death of a Salesman there in like 76 or 77.
Now that's not Dave. You're talking Dave Dubin.
No. This was Mr. Bill Lawrence, and he played Willie Loman, and the woman who played his wife was Lorraine Bracco. So that's
wow.
It's an amazing theater that has an incredible history, and we're doing a production of Murder on the Orient Express.
Wow.
And you have the meaty role, I'm assuming.
Hercule Poirot.
Are you using?
I am the detective.
Are you using a French accent?
I have to use a French accent, which just made me like want to kick myself for saying yes when they offered me the part, because I thought, oh yeah, that'll be really easy. Well, yeah, if you want to do a crappy French accent, but to me it's.
But you can do that. You're a character guy.
Not for 2 hours. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about getting the wrong R somewhere, and it's going to be.
I don't think people.
Now that place has been totally redone, right?
Oh, it's amazing now.
So I worked there a bunch of times, and when I worked there, they had the chair, the chair that you sit in and ride up to the top, because the people
Yeah.
that were subscribers had been subscribers for 40 or 50 years. So you look out in the audience, and these are people that pay money, one fee, so they get to come to every show.
Right.
And I would look out there, and
Subscribers,
geez, I hope they all make it through the end of the
Which
show.
is why
you know?
that's why they used to always hire you, because you were an audience of your peers. Because you meet a woman now, Jackie. Let's face it, you can't decide if it's an ex-girlfriend or a hospice nurse. And so
I would love to debate you on that, but I won't. I won't.
You really hit home with that one, Rob.
No.
they're doing a benefit for their children's theater program. They have a great children's theater. They do a camp in the summer, and so that's why we're doing 10 performances of Murder on the Orient Express. And I said I would be very happy to come in.
Oh, well, that's just
and do that.
terrific.
So it's
You
a lot
gotta
of fun.
love that. You
Now,
gotta-
when are these happening?
Opening night is August 28th, and it runs through September 13th. So it's going to be 10 performances. There's no show on September 11th.
we got to go. We got to go to that, and we
Definitely.
got to have him on time it
No
out right
heckling,
I can get.
Peter.
That's what I'm
No
afraid of.
heckling.
I'm
No.
afraid you'll stand up and go, "He's not French."
Yeah, right.
before. Yes.
Peter, you forgot the tomatoes.
So let me just tell the audience, this guy is a heavyweight headliner around America. He's a Long Islander through and through, but he does so much other stuff. And I wanted to bring up, I don't know how much you've talked about this on podcasts and things, but radio. We
Mhm.
got two guys who used radio essentially to further their stand-up and acting careers. Now we got on my far right, we have Imus in the morning represented, and right in the center here we have Howard Stern represented.
And that covered the whole gamut.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Warring factions.
Wow.
Yeah, but Imus came first, and then Howard took the baton and ran, I think, faster and farther with it.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
pretty good description. Now, Rob, I've done some radio. It's so different than stand-up. I remember I would do a joke on a radio show, and you're alone in a studio, and there's no laugh. And then a month later, somebody comes up to you and compliments you on the joke that you did a month ago.
It's theater of the mind, Peter. You're creating the scenario in the imagination of the listener. Your audience is not there to give you immediate feedback, but you're responsible for creating that world for them. And it's great, anonymous. fans,
Unless you're
because-
me and you just laugh at yourself no matter what. And like, who gives a
I used to like the anonymous fame of it. I'd be like at a restaurant and be in the crapper, and there'd be guys at the urinal. I'm saying, "Did you hear the guy Bartlett on I missed it?" And they would like do my material, and I would be inside listening to them talk about me, and they had no idea that I was.
And did you?
and you'd run out of the bathroom before one of them says, yeah, he sucks.
So you did find it rewarding, I'm sure. I mean,
Oh, it really
Oh.
was. It was a lot of fun. I learned an awful lot, and it was a great way to promote. I mean, Jackie found that out first. I mean,
Wow.
that it was just an incredible way to promote where you were going to be. You could relatively stay in town, and then once the show got syndicated, you could then expand your reach and do other shows everywhere. And the exposure is what ultimately got my theater and TV.
It's so
career
crazy.
started, so.
When I started, I got called. Howard called me up after I sent my records to him, and he brought me in on a Tuesday, and he said, "Wow, you're fun. Come back." And I came in every week
Mhm.
for 3 years for free, and I would ask people to. He'd say, "Why don't you bring in some of your friends?" I asked people to come in, and they'd say, "What's it pay?"
Mhm.
I said, "What do you mean? What's it pay? It's tri-state area, 50,000 watts. Do you have any idea the power of that?" And so many people just said, "Nah."
Well, that's when he was at NBC, and you could pick up that signal at night in
yes.
Bermuda.
You know,
it was-
I went down to work in
Yep.
Charleston, and they introduced me, and the audience went wild. I'm like, they don't know me here, but Charleston sticks out.
Mhm.
So after we were on at 4:00 in the afternoon
Yeah.
then, and the signal reached there in the afternoon. It was crazy.
Bounced off the water. Yeah, it was a great AM signal. It's 50,000 watts.
Crazy.
So-
Yes, indeed.
Fun.
You know, I was reading about Mexico didn't have the 50,000 watt limit,
Mhm.
and they had Mexican radio stations with a couple of 100,000 watts. That's how Wolfman
Yeah,
Jack.
I was
You
gonna
know
say,
all this,
yeah,
Rob, right?
Wolfman Jack, that's how Wolfman Jack got to be Wolfman Jack, because he would boom. They'd pick him up in
the whole
Canada.
West. Yeah, the whole American
Yeah.
West.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
I never heard that before.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's stuff. That's real stuff. Now, but of course, I'm just guessing, but I assume that the most reward you get is from doing live shows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's the feedback of an audience when you're right there and it's in the moment, the live. There's no, except in the
nothing to
car on the way to the
compare.
gig with the other comics. I mean, that's the most rewarding part.
Right.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I really, really do. Now, you're character based.
Mhm. Yeah, but because I had gotten into stand-up thinking it was the quickest way to have an acting career. Because when I first started, it was 77, 78, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, all these comics were getting development deals and getting all these acting gigs. And I figured, well,
And that was their leapfrog.
exactly. And I had, been trained in acting all along and didn't really pursue it full time in college because I didn't think it was a good profession to raise a family. Of course, I went into stand-up comedy,
Which still isn't. Right.
But it, so all the stuff that I would do was more centered around creating characters and doing little like playlets because Jonathan Winters was my hero.
Okay.
I mean, everything that I did was, influenced by Jonathan Winters, the characters that he used to do and the stuff that he used to do off the top of his head.
Every comedian singles out their hero in comedy. Jonathan Winters.
Mhm.
Bob Nelson, we mentioned before. Red Skelton.
Right.
Jackie.
Al Jolson.
Joe Miller. Do you know the very first time I ever dared step on a comedy stage,
Mhm.
it was the same old gang, and you were there the first night
Yep.
I ever did that at
Yep.
Dixon. It was
At
you
Dixon's.
and me and Nelson and Minervini and that
Jim
original
Marsh,
gang
Bob Woods,
and Hawthorne.
Hawthorne,
Just-
Jabrowski,
All these
John Ferentino,
all guys
Classic Long Island comedians. All
that forever.
the Magnificent Seven.
listed. So
And
Rob,
then Eddie was like
Eddie-
just a couple
Eddie
months
Murphy.
after that.
now,
That latecomer.
so Rob,
He had a promising future. What happened to him?
he's working at a Hess station. Now, Rob, I associate you with the start of a legendary club. That was a tough club, but we had wonderful times there. The Rainy Night House in Queens. What is your association?
Belrose, Queens. I was the house MC there for a couple of years. Ron Richards had originally been the one who started it with Vic
Okay.
Sussman, the guy who owned the place. It was one of those wine and cheese cafe deals. They had burgers and fondue, and he would have he'd have you book. I was responsible for booking the room and being the MC.
And that room was this thin.
Right.
There was the stage,
Right.
room for a waitress,
Right.
and tables.
Right. And it was like a wide room, almost like Catch, where it was
Went
much
on.
wider than deep.
Yeah.
And then
And Vic used to stick his head out of the
Yeah.
kitchen and watch the show.
Right. And but it was a great place. I mean, I segued from doing Dixon's, and eventually when Minervini opened the East Side, Minervini used to be the MC at Dixon's, and then I became the MC at Dixon's, and then actually moved over to the Rainy Night House because it paid. And
Right.
then,
Yeah.
And the Rainy Night House
little
kind
bit.
of filled in the gap
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The first time I ever got paid for comedy, when Vic handed me $20, I was like, I thought I had discovered gold, like, wow.
So Rob, this is going to crack you up.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm working at the Rainy Night House with Dom Herrera,
Mhm.
and Dom is just starting out.
Okay.
And let's just say he bombed really, really big that night.
Mhm.
Okay. Flash forward 20 years.
Mhm.
I'm opening for him up in Connecticut. Gigantic packed room. He's got Showtime, Tonight Show, packing comedy clubs out on weeknights. And he kills, he destroys, standing ovation.
Mhm.
He gets off stage and he comes up to me in the green room afterwards and he says to me, that night at the Rainy Night House, I was just really tired.
Right. Never.
I swear to God, that's
shake
true.
it.
I
You can
swear
never
that's
shake
true.
it.
I swear that's true.
You could have 50 standing ovations, fill a room for an entire weekend, and you'll never remember.
But that son of a bitch that was sitting right there.
You didn't laugh. You'll remember that for the rest of your career.
Mother.
It's so funny. Dom is one of the funniest people I had ever met in my entire life. I was he grew up in Philly with Joanna Bexon, who was a comedy and a acting coach and teacher. She taught the Meisner method, and she was responsible for teaching a lot of comedians. And one of my classmates was Ray Romano, and I was getting coached for one of my Broadway auditions at Joanna's, and the phone rang, and she picked up the phone. She said, "Oh, guess what? You'll never guess who's here." And he said, "It's Rob Bartlett," because she knew that I knew Dom from the comedy circuit. She hands me the phone, and Dom goes, "Bartlett, I got to tell you, you were always inspiring, and I always respected you because you didn't care if you got laughs or not."
That's him.
So deadpan. It was so
That's
him.
so him.
So
Totally
him. It was
him.
so great.
Oh,
So great.
I love that.
Yeah, and we just lost her. We had a memorial for her a couple months ago. And,
that was my next question.
Yeah,
I actually took a couple of lessons from her.
yeah, she passed. But she's responsible for
So many.
everything that I do. And it's funny because Ray was at the memorial. We were talking. He used to always say, "Joanna, please don't make me follow Rob. I don't want to follow Rob." But he told me a great story. Speaking of the Rainy Night House, he had gone to see the show at Rainy Night House once with a girl who he was madly in love with. And, he was watching, he said he was like a fan and thought I was inspiring and all that. And I'm thinking, thanks for the call for the guest show on your show. He says, so in the car on the way back, she says to me, "Now, Ray, don't be mad, but I gave the MC my phone number and asked him to take me to a comedy club, but when you were performing, so he could come see you perform." Okay, never forgot that. But we had a good laugh about that one.
Those were the days when there was a really rotten audience at the Rainy Night House. Do you remember we used to send notes up to each other?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh God.
Absolutely.
Just to try and throw the guy off as bad as you could.
That was one of my favorite things. We used to do that a lot at the East Side because the East Side was our clubhouse.
Yeah,
we ran that place. We would go up during each other's acts. We would I would jump on stage as a different character to try to mess with you. I'd be the plumber, trying to tell the audience that
Herb Dexter,
the plumber, he had to flush this. Somebody obviously had Mexican before, and I wouldn't go in there. And but we would do all that all the time, and it reminded me of when we used to at Catch, because Catch used to be like the depot where comics who were going north and out east for one-nighters would meet their rides, and the Improv were when you did Jersey or and you'd come back after your gig, and that's when they would put Gilbert Gottfried on at like 2:00 in the morning, trying to drive out the last couple of drunks because he was so out there. But we would all stand in the back of Catch to watch Gilbert and do a 45-minute set, not opening his eyes, and he wouldn't stop. Yeah. And he would obviously be doing everything for us, but those talking about
the comedian's comedian that describes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you mentioned we'd go on stage as a plumber. We're mentioning a comedian, Frankie Pace, who I always got along with him. I thought he was he is hysterically funny. And he was just starting out, and before he was a comedian, he was a plumber. Mm-hmm. But he's starting out in comedy, and he's done some shows at East Side. Do you know this story, Rob? You do. You know what? 9:00 on a Saturday, the toilet backs up at East Side. Richie Minervini calls up Frankie Pace and goes, "We need you. You got to get down here right away."
Oh, that's just.
And he grabs
so
all his.
Sadly,
he grabs all his props. He comes running in as fast as he can, with holding his props. And Richie goes, "We don't need you to go on stage. We need a plumber. The toilet's back."
Oh God, that's just. I remember Pace was on Saturday Night Live, but I think just for like a real quick flash in a sketch or just for a few seconds.
No, he had a set. Did
he have a set?
He kicked ass.
And
give him that.
And so that was part of his plug.
Mm-hmm.
But that was his plug for years and years and years and years. I remember one time, I think I was standing right there, and he said to Messina, "Hey, when you introduce me, don't forget Saturday Night Live." And Messina said, Yeah, that's wearing a little thin. Frank. Do you remember the guy named Stephen Wright? I don't know if he's still
Steve
around,
Wright,
but he
yeah.
was in an Eddie Murphy movie and was standing in the subway in one of the scenes, and he actually billed himself the guy on the subway in an Eddie Murphy movie. You know,
credits wear thin. Rick Messina said that to me.
Said Jackie Martling, who hasn't been on the Stern Show in 25 years. You know, from that, you know,
I still use Joe Franklin, so let's not criticize
My
old.
friends, cop soda. I have the greatest Joe Franklin story. It's early on in my career. I just got married. It was the first gig, like a television gig I had. I was on with Gloria Parker, who played the musical Glasses, and Gary.
I knew that she lived on Long Island.
Yep.
I know her.
Gary,
she died.
my manager of 45 years, who I know longer than I know my wife, and he and Billy Long, who owned Ferns and Roslyn,
Yep.
were managing Gloria and got her the audition with Woody Allen. So she was in Broadway Danny Rose, and anyway, she was booked on.
And she was also in Broadway Danny Rose.
That's right. Yeah,
No, but I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that real life.
That was her resume.
Yes,
beginning and
right.
end.
From
Rob,
Broadway, right, exactly.
Rob, I have those scary moments too once in a while.
It's just it happens. I can hide my own Easter eggs. That's how bad it is for me. So, and I'm on with her because obviously I'm being managed by the same team, and they're promoting this musical Glasses at Christmas album that she did, and she's there, and she's got her, and she's doing like, Joy to the World in these glasses. I mean, just a virtuoso, and she was like some big deal, like band leader in the late 40s, early 50s, all woman band. She was a musical genius. And so it was me and Gloria and another guy whose name I can't remember, but he was on, and he was known as the Holocaust poet. He had written a book of poetry from when he was in Dachau. And another act who, well, for the sake of the story, I'm not going to tell you until it comes along. And Joe Franklin, for those of you who don't remember Joe Franklin, he had this show on Channel 9. He knew everybody in show business. Everybody who was anybody did that show. Streisand, Liza Minnelli, anybody on Broadway. He was like the toast of Broadway, the king of Broadway. He knew everybody. And then he would also have like some guy who had a deli in Canarsie.
And he treated him equally.
Absolutely. And you would share the panel with, you could be with Liza Minnelli, the guy who owned the deli, and like me would be like on the same panel. But he used to love to try and incorporate all the guests together. And he would always ask us, well, what did you think of Barbra Streisand? Do you think she's got a future in the business? So I go on first because I'm the newcomer. I do my little dogs at a cocktail party bit, whatever it is. He interviews me. We go to commercial. Gloria Parker comes on. She does her brilliant musical Glasses, comes on. She knew Joe from like years and years ago, and it says, Gloria Parker, my friends, Rob Bartlett. What did you think of Gloria Parker? I said, she was so talented. I said, and I think there are a few dogs who showed up when she played the Glasses, some of those high pitched things. I said, she gets really pissed at me and like not talking to me for the rest of the thing. Holocaust poet comes out. We bump down. I'm at the end of the couch almost. And he's reading these poems, and one is more heartbreaking than the next. Just horrible, horrible. The cameramen are weeping. He says, the Holocaust poet, my friends, reminding us of a time we shouldn't forget, but we'd like to forget. We'll be back after this message from Joseph Speakerman's 16 Varieties of Ethnic Breads with Hannibal the Clown. Now, Hannibal was this birthday party clown who didn't speak, but she had the full-on big shoe clown outfit with the pointy hat, and she had bicycle horns and bells and slide whistles hanging off her costume, and she would use those as sound effects when she did this pantomime. Her act consisted of a little kid who had lost his balloon at the fair, and it was like ding 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 ding. So she's done. She's sitting down. First of all, when he says, we'll be back after the Holocaust with Hannibal the Clown, I turn and look at the cameraman who looks at me. Thank God I'm not on camera because I'm at the end. Come back. She sits down Annabelle the Clown, my friends, Annabelle the Clown. Annabelle, what did you think of comedian Rob Bartlett? And she continues not to speak. So she does this. What did you think of Gloria Parker's musical glasses? And what did you think of the Holocaust poet? And she grabs the bulb of the bicycle horn and squeezes it really softly so it goes. And she goes. I literally am like this. Into the couch so that no one can see me.
Biting you.
It's a great moment. Great moment.
So,
Oh.
do you know Gloria Parker? Really, I went to her house, and when she must have been like 98 or something.
Then.
I went there with somebody who knew her. She wrote the song Supercalifragilistic, and she not only wrote it, but she had the sheet music with her name on it, and she lost the case against
The
Disney
Shermans.
because
Yeah.
it was David and Goliath.
Yeah.
You know,
The Shermans. The Sherman brothers.
and you'd never believe a word of it, but she had and it wasn't a different. It was the exact song. Unbelievable.
Joe knew everybody. You meet him in his office before you would do the show, and it was this little tiny office above a porn theater in Times Square, and it was like half the size of this room, and floor to ceiling, it was newspapers and magazines.
He barely.
Okay.
It was almost like a airplane cockpit
Yeah.
where he sat there and he's completely surrounded. But the most amazing thing is they moved his office, and I thought, how are they going to do that? And they moved him somewhere, and I went to his new office, and they had moved everything. I don't know if it was in the same place, but I couldn't believe that there he was among all the crap. And I actually have it on iPhone video.
Do you?
Yeah, it's like he was.
But he was such an like encyclopedic knowledge of show business, and he would say, "Rob Bartlett, my friend, you're going to be a big comedy talent. Yeah, in the spirit of Billy Gleason. You know Billy Gleason?" I said, "No, I've never heard of it." And he gets up from the desk and he walks over to the corner of the room, and he's going like this through all these decaying newspaper clips, and he pulls one out, and it's this variety review of Billy Gleason from like 1930 something.
Wow.
He just was amazing.
Do you know the story of him and the Aristocrats?
No.
I was sitting next to him. I swear to God, I was sitting next to him at the screening of the Aristocrats at the Directors Guild.
Okay.
And he hadn't seen it. And Sarah Silverman is in the show, is in the movie. And she says, I remember when I went to audition for Joe Franklin, and I was in his waiting room sitting on the couch. And, he came out and sat next to me and started talking to me. And he raped me. And it's so funny, but Joe was like, I was like, no, it's comedy, Joe. She was kidding. Oh my God. It was the odds that he was sitting there watching. I was just, and she can act. I mean, just the way it was almost like it had dawned on her. Oh God, it was priceless.
Well, this proves that Broadway Danny Rose was largely true.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking of when you think of Joe Franklin and the acts and the Holocaust poet is.
He had the club
can't
on
make that up.
45th and 8th.
Yeah.
And it was like a restaurant. He had a comedy club in the back, but there was a restaurant in the middle, was like a platform, and he did his radio show in the middle up there on the platform, but he had all of his garbage. And I'll never forget going in there, and he had his jacket that he wore all those years on WOR, and it was bright red. But you had no idea when you're watching it on television. You're like, you got to be kidding,
Hey guys, we're at 30 minutes.
All right. Plug your play.
Our
Plug your
producer,
play.
Michael's in.
We want you all to come to the Studio Theater in Lindenhurst starting August 28th. When is this going to air?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So we probably have already had auditions at that point, but I would invite you to come down to audition. It's Murder on the Orient Express.
Studio Theater on Wellwood Avenue.
Yeah.
And I want to plug something I haven't plugged yet. It's a long story how this happened, but me and Richie Minervini and John Ferrantino are doing the Long Island Comedians Reunion Cruise, starting February 14th to February 21st of next year. Now, that sounds crazy, but the people that booked the cruise said people book their cruises way in advance so they can plan out for.
I'm going to be at Pizza Hut in Hicksville.
I wanted to promote this was Jackie Martling and Richie Miravini, but John Ferrantino.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is an old Al Jolson, because George Jessel wanted to be on the marquee and he insisted. So Al Jolson, but George Jessel.
You missed your chance of getting on the Titanic, boys and girls. Now's your chance.
Yeah, you go.
Let's definitely get on this cruise.
Absolutely.
Let's tell everybody we are on a podcasting network called Strong Island Television. And where we're doing the podcast from is called Paradise Studios right here in Massapequa. A great facility. Anything you need, video, audio, podcasting. It's great. And the owner, Bobby Lacera, is the guy you call. And he's got a Long Island podcasting school, podcasting boot camp, audiobook production. I mean, kids podcast and media. A summer camp for kids for podcasting. And he's got his own book about how to get started in podcasting.
Teach you how, if there's three
everything.
people, how to turn on the third microphone.
Right? That's right. We got the third microphone on. But anyway,
and there's arts and crafts and swimming. It's a great camp.
Finger painting.
Paradise Studios, Long Island Podcasting School. We thank Bobby. He puts a lot of stuff out there into the community. We thank him.
Shoot me for this, but plug your school.
StandUpUniversity.com for new comedians starting out, 7-week class.
Because what they say is true. Those that can't do, teach. And those that can't teach comedy.
There you go.
You know what?
I have resisted saying that for 5 years.
I can't reply because he happens to be true about that. Now, Rob Bartlett, just so funny, everything you do. Thank you. We got to have you back on when it gets closer to the date of the. This is going to be a special production of Murder on the Orient Express. Yes. The only time ever in a movie or a play where Poirot, the main character, stutters and he gets confused and he doesn't solve the case.
And has a lisp and trips a lot and really at the end goes, I don't know. I don't know. It could be anybody.
It'll be great. And we will be there in the front row eating lemons.
Rob Bartlett, thank you so much. Jackie the Joke Man Martling, as usual. I am Peter Bales. Thank you to our producer, Michael Zinn, and we will see you next time on Stand Up Memories.
Thank you.